In the bottom right of Moondance, I give you the Korean Protoss player. In the red, one of the most emotional, dramatic, and exciting Protoss players, and just players in general. I do wish we had the webcams, or I just need just him. I don't care. It was soO, fine, but just for creator. By the way, creator. As he wears his heart on his sleeve and then covers his face with it because, oh my god, I've never seen a more expressive player in all of StarCraft 2 than creator. So just keep that in mind. On the other side, from Kwangdong Free CS, another Korean player. You should recognize him. Arguably the second best of all time. It's soO. Losing more finals than most people ever make it to. He's back. He did his military service. A lot of players either don't come back or struggle to return to the same level they were. I think soO is still not quite there. Of course, a win here could be a big step in the right direction. In my opinion, he's still a little... He's kind of still stuck in the past, is the style he plays. He's very much that mass Zergling style, a little bit less of the late-game spellcasters. I guess it's a little map pool dependent. Nowadays, with Moondance, with Stargazers, Cosmic Sapphire, you're forced in Data Sea. Honestly, most of the map pool is more well-suited to these longer macro games. He took the front base to start. Of course, as you know, the only places you're allowed to expand is as a Zerg player to start against a committed Protoss is either your third or their natural. For many years now, we have decided that Zergs just don't get to expand to that base on most maps. Twilight Council, on the way for Creator. Interesting, not starting with the Stargate. Really gonna go for the pylon. Just a little extra second there. Twilight Council is the choice. Maybe some Glaives action to start things off. Robo. He's not building anything. Yeah, all signs point to Glaives. A bit of a resurgence. You want to keep your options open. Playing Protoss is a bit like having a deck of cards. You don't want to show your whole hand early on. You don't want to do the same build every game because the Zergs will adapt. And this is why Protoss is so successful with barcodes and best of ones on the ladder, but seeing a lot less success in the later stages of tournaments. It is hard to have that many builds ready to play. The Creator. Robotics facility. There's no Overlord to scout any of this. The Overlord's nowhere close. Just hanging out. soO with great map vision, but the most important info is in the main. He's not going to have a Roach Warren. He's not going to have a Baneling Nest. There's already a Warp Prism on the way. If he starts a Roach Warren momentarily, he might be okay. Well, yeah, it seems like he has a good idea of how to play this game, believe it or not. Starts the Roach Warren. 18 Zerglings. What? Did he poke in and see it? He is convinced. He's making a lot of lings and he has no spores, so he didn't see the main. He must have seen the adept count with a ling or something, because with no spores, he's incredibly committed to anti-ground. He's very ready to deal with this adept push. As ready as he can be. Is that enough Zerglings? The Queens are going to have to be a bit of a meat shield here. The first Shade doesn't decide to complete it. Creator just keeping the pressure on. Creator behind this has 41 probes. The hardest part of this for Zerg is less dealing with it directly and more managing your economy. Because you can't undercommit, because then the adepts kill everything. And you can't overcommit, because then they just back off. But A good surround from soO. A lot of the Adepts are gonna die with no worker kills, but he's warping in more, and the Adepts are on top of the drones! Oh, a dangerous shade. A bit of a scrappy battle so far. He can juggle potentially into the main with the Warp Prism. Kills 3 drones. But most of the damage was done in just preventing those drones from being built in the first place. He's at 35 to 45 workers. Creator is favored there. And there's no easy way to get into the natural. You've only got that small wall at the natural front. The pocket base, only 6 mineral patches. A single gas, so it's not a full base there. Creator, not a decisive victor. Not super far ahead. But not unhappy. He still has the Prism. He still has most of his Adepts. And without a lair, you just got Sloaches. Maybe a few Ravagers. Already pre-shading here. Oh. Creator getting a little fancy, but deciding against it. Oh, took way too much damage on the Prism to risk it now. soO trying to recover with a whole lot of drones in production. They're about to finish. No Evolution Chamber, no Baneling Nest, but 2 more gases. Is he going Spire? Or are we just keeping the options open? It is hard to make a call for both sides here. Oh, wow, that's a lot of Adepts. That is a lot of Adepts. And 2 Immortals in the Prism. Creator has not slowed down on the Warpins. How many? Wow, okay, 22 Adepts. Roach is on the way. Overseer coming in, but I don't think he's going to need an Overseer to realize what's coming. A whole lot of Lings, more Ravagers. That is just so many Adepts. No upgrades besides the Glaives, but the Glaives might be more than enough. The Immortals leading the charge. He has an Observer helping to clear the creep. Corrosive Bile zoning out. Lings doing what they can, which is not particularly much. You have to split the difference here. Until he gets Roach Speed done, soO's going to have a hard time committing anywhere against these Adepts. The Immortals still bashing through. A little bit slow on the pullback. Creator decides to send about half the Adepts through. A bit of a risky choice, but I think it's going to pay off, as soO doesn't have nearly enough units in the main. He cancels about half the Adept Shades, but leaves enough to cover for the Immortals in the front, and that means 12 drones are down. A Ravager as well. Shades to the natural. The Immortals are getting into the front line. The Adepts are cutting through anything else. The Immortals uncontested. The drone count is plummeting. And soO is falling apart right here in Game 1. Creator creating an opportunity and making the most of it. The Shades into the main. 31 to 61 workers. It's all but over. There's almost no contest on the other side. He's going to have to do some sort of crazy roach all-in, but it's the most obvious thing in the world. He knows what's coming across the map. Immortals are already in production. soO may hold, but at what cost? There's still an Immortal. There's still a Prism. And there's still no way to deal with it directly. A Robotics Bay. Shield batteries. All over the natural. There's only one card left to play for soO. He has to counterattack. You can't rebuild drones. You're at 24 drones, soO. Don't. Oh. You don't, no. I'm sorry. I mean, we gotta make it, no, it's not gonna work. That is not the number. In fact, Creator, Creator not gonna rest behind his wall here. He canceled some of the batteries when soO didn't counterattack. Creator has played a solid game. There's a huge risk of overcommitting with those Adepts. It was the big move, I think, was deciding to cancel like 8 out of 15 Adepts, which is something you rarely see. Either it's just a couple or none. But Creator making the call for like a medium amount, about half his Adepts, ended up making all the difference. As soO cannot be in 2 places at once. Sorry. His units don't teleport nearly as easily. There's a Colossus on the way. It's a bit of a life support situation for soO. I am hard-pressed to see a road from here. He's got to just keep trying to build drones and take cost-effective fights, but the unit's lost. It's kind of close. The problem is, Creator has just way more income. soO's made up some of the gap. He technically has 4 bases. There's +1 ranged attack on the way. I'm looking for upside. He's got some creep spread. He kept many of his queens alive. Wait, did he? He lost 3. If Creator lets soO go until 70-something drones and sit on 4 bases, then maybe. It's not like Creator's sitting back in his base behind his wall. He's been out there forcing units and keeping soO from sitting comfortably. I really was winding up for the GG, wasn't I? But little did I know how tenacious soO can be. And until extended thermal lance, +2 attack, charge. I mean, the 4th base is done, Creator. Not... This is a very hard army for soO to beat. With less army supply and Road Ravager. There's no disruptors, but the Colossi are a much more stable option. The Zerglings are the biggest issue for the Stalkers. Just absorbing too many hits. Road Ravager here. soO gonna split. Thermal Lance not quite done yet, so the Colossi still kind of close to the fight. Stalker's blinking back. Single. Force field used here. The War Prism still. Oh, well. Alright, he's gonna juggle the Colossus into the Prism. Corrosive Biles. soO making the most of it. The Immortal still standing tall. We got 24 kills. 3 kills. It's an Apprentice Immortal. The other Immortal survived that first fight. A Hive is on the way. Some real optimism from the Zerg. 3 Colossi here, Corrosive Biles out in the field. If they had about 15 times the radius. But the Blanca on top. I can just imagine Creator fist pumping now as he takes it home. Game 1, a decisive match for Creator. Well executed on the Adepts, and the follow-up without hesitation. Some players will get caught up in the micro and forget that maybe the game won't end. But Creator was building probes, he had his tech behind it. There was no point he was vulnerable. And it was all Creator all the time. That's 1-0. Game 2 is going to be Tropical Sacrifice. I wish we could get the Creator cam. We're just going to have to imagine. But I've got from the last DreamHack. I've got a 4-panel for you. These were all within 30 seconds of him winning his match. This was not from a bunch of different matches. This was just taking some screenshots. So, looking good for him so far. Maybe we'll see some more of that at this rate. Game 2. Creator with a command performance, and I love the choice. I think going Glaive to Depths in Game 1 really opens up your opportunities. You're playing the full series, especially as Protoss. And now that he's shown he's willing and able to go with the Twilight Council in an age when the Stargate is the default choice, soO's going to have to take that more seriously. And now, here's the extra downside, is soO was ready. He was building units. He wasn't caught off guard. He was preparing directly for the Adepts. And that didn't end up mattering. It can't feel good. I think we'll see Stargate in Game 2. I wouldn't be surprised if soO tries some shenanigans himself. There's always the classic counter of, how do I stop them from doing this strategy? And your most cleverest of commenters will say, well, just kill them before. Of course, that is an incredibly valid strategy in many cases. I'll reference Zerg versus Terran, with Terrans going 3cc and then 4 roaches showing up and doing critical damage. Just happened in several tournaments lately. We still have an opportunity later on in this one. They can't keep getting away with the 3cc, okay? Like, this isn't... It's just... Why do they keep getting away with it? I'm glad they're getting punished now. soO with the gas and the pool. I don't want a 3-0. We've already had such a quick first part of the round of 24. We got time, okay? I hesitate to pray for a Sky Toss game, but maybe one, okay? Not every game, but like one a series. I'll accept it. Like a variety pack. Like, if all the Skittles were Sky Toss, you wouldn't like it. But every once in a while, you get one Sky Toss Skittle. Okay, all right. Like, I'll try it. What's it gonna be? He's using... Oh, he has 200 gas. Why do you have 200 gas, Creator? What are you doing with that? He has 250 gas. Why do you... He has 300 gas. I'm just gonna keep counting until he uses some of it. What? 3... There should be... Oh my god. Oh, he wanted to... Okay. Alright, okay. Pull back. He scouted to see if this made any sense. Like, I think he wanted to check if there's gonna be a third hatch. If soO's going for what you could call a normal macro build. Okay? He wasn't just waiting. He wasn't forgetting his build. He was checking to make sure it was the strat. It's a little rare to see that, but he slaps down the double Stargate after the Adept gets a look around. And it's pretty clear, based on the positioning of the Stargates, that he does not want to reveal this until it's too late for soO to do anything. Phoenixes. Just a polar opposite build on the entire other end of the tech spectrum, but a similar style of, I'm not going to kill you, I'm just going to make you not want to live anymore. I'm speaking as a Zerg player. Dealing with Glaive Adepts and Mass Phoenix when you're unprepared or underprepared is... Yeah, I think I said it right the first time. Well, some Phoenixes on the way. He's got 14 Zerglings and a Roach Warren. soO does not know what he's dealing with yet. It is enough units to defend, possibly pressure a third, but he's trying to cover all his bases right now. The Zerglings are more than enough to delay a third. Gonna be kind of surprised to see a lack of one. Oh no, he's building roaches. Oh no. Sorry, you soO fans out there. A handful of roaches and a late lair are not an ideal counter to Phoenixes. Those are not like, I'm gonna go all in and do counter pressure. That's maybe Adepts then. Kind of. He's held it for so long. Oh. God, this feels... And now he's supply blocked. He's building 5 Obies. Oh, no. Like, soO's already behind in workers. He can't even build more queens right now. Estrella? Not Estrella, I'm sorry. I know what different Protoss are. There's several different Creator. Protoss don't all look alike to me. Creator comes back. Roaches in the air, just like soO's chances of economically recovering in this game. Like, oh no. This is another situation for soO where it's like, it's not nearly as bad as last game. He still has an economy. He's getting a Spire. But if Creator sees it, then, like, Corruptors are okay. But you can get +1. You can maybe even get Phoenix range. Phoenixes are not horrible against Corruptors en masse. And he has quite a jump start on that unit composition. And also, of course... Oh no. Oh yeah, remember? He could also have ground units. He just walks up. They don't have charge. Like, what are you gonna do? Queens? Come up and say hello. Drops them into the Zealots. Like, these are just unupgraded Zealots. These are our slots right now. Roaches are coming out. He's picking up the roaches. He's cutting off the reinforcements. Oh, God. Okay, he's just sending one. He's just warping in units and walking them across the map like it's direct strike. And it might as well be at this stage, Anna. Some Corruptors, but Corruptors not well known for countering Zealots. He's got roach speed, so that'll help him run his roaches out into the phoenixes faster, I guess. Once again, soO is not dead. You know what they say? That which doesn't kill you leaves you in chronic pain and mentally, emotionally, and physically crippled for the rest of the game. Yeah, like, all right. I mean, soO chooses the easy way out as he sees the third well established, and Creator with a comfortable 2-0 lead. And now soO just has to win 3 in a row against a Protoss who has shown 2 entirely different strategies. That is... like... the Protoss side of me is... the Zerg side of me is... Game 3. Everyone, grab your emotional support, Zerglings. We're gonna need them. Because I wanted to cast more than like 12 games today. So, and at this rate, we're not gonna get there. Creator in the top left with a comfortable and decisive 2-0. soO, maybe regretting getting out of bed this morning so far. Oh god, these are just ladder losses. These are ladder builds and ladder losses. they're both of those builds have been shown, like every other barcode player does one of them. That's what feels so bad. I bet soO has won and lost against those strategies hundreds of times. It's just until the moment he tips his hand, it's almost impossible to know. If you don't go Overlord speed, then there's no guarantee you'll get vision. And if you go Overlord speed, then you may have just spent the money you needed to counter the thing you scouted with Overlord speed. Because 100 gas is not something you easily come by when you're barely even on workers. Also, if you go for Overlord speed, you can't build as many queens. It takes time on the hatchery. So, I believe it was Scarlet I was talking to. Yeah, just name drop that. But Scarlet described Overlord speed as the best way to see how you're going to die. And not in like a sarcastic, but in a, yeah, you just spent all the money you could have used to actually counter something. What's it gonna be, creator? He starts Warp Gate. You know what I'd love? Because here's the meta. You start. Okay, he starts Warp Gate, cancels Warp Gate. Are you really you think he's gonna? You think he's not gonna notice? It might have worked. Okay, this is a little mind game. So, he finished the Cybercore, started Warp Gate, assumed the Overlord would take a look at the animation of the Cybercore spinning, canceled Warp Gate, used the gas to make a Stargate, and started Warp Gate again. So he's assuming that soO did not check past that first second the Cybercore finished, whether Warp Gate was started. And you know what? It might work. We'll see. That's tiny little details that can have huge impacts if for some reason he assumes it's like a glaives all in and then an Oracle shows up. But Creator has been all about the details this series. Oracle it is. Oh, and he gets the creep tumor. And he gets out. Disgusting. I mean, beautifully done. Can you tell I'm a random player? Oh, and a Void Ray to follow it up. And he... Oh, wow. He's building a depths at the wall as well. So if Creator... I mean, if soO comes across... Well, he's going to see the Oracle now. The Oracle just flew across. So that... The existence of the Oracle gives it away. I thought he might be trying to mask another Glaives play, but... Yeah, Spore Crawlers will start. The Queens are in position to deal with it. This... Okay, so this is the standard build. We're on the Zerg map. This is the largest macro map. soO... Send soO. Get those emotional support Zerglings. Okay, inject your hatcheries, whatever that might mean for you. It's time. This is a macro build out of Creator. What? Did he build a second Void Ray? I mean, besides the random Void Rays he's building. This is as close as we're gonna get to a standard mid-game here. So this is soO's best chance to show what he has without getting crippled early on. Of course, now there's like 2 Void Rays, so who does this anymore? Creator, those got nerfed months ago. Don't you know if a unit gets slightly nerfed, you're no longer allowed to build it, ever? I don't think Creator heard anyone say that over him screaming in excitement to himself over winning any games ever. I mean, he's still just building Void Rays. Like, this is Void Ray number 3. One Void Ray. Okay, that's interesting. 2 Void Rays is concerning, and 3 is a habit. Okay, 3 is a plan. It looks like he's going for the Star Charge. Void Ray, Twilight Council, Warp Prism. Is he gonna pull off gas? No, he's adding a Templar Archives. Oh my god, this is like a 3-base all-in. Creator. Just getting more advanced, but still a similar style of decisive timing. I'm not even sure what the best option here is for soO. Even if he knew everything, like he saw... Now, go on a journey with me. He saw a Twilight, he saw Void Rays producing, and a Robo. What is this? I don't think that really narrows it down. He's building Zerglings. If he knew there was a Templar Archives, which started after... Oh, well, now... No, he can't jump on the Archons because of the Void Rays. Hydralisk Den is on the way. Wings and Banes. The Queen count is at 7. He's got 69 drones, which is a nice enough number. What? Where are you going? Oh my god. He's got his Prism Escort. This is some filthy Protoss. This is kind of beautiful, though. He drops the Archons in. The Archons will buffer. You can't take out the Prism. The Void Rays are there to deal with the Queens. Or are they? Or is the reverse true? Yeah, well... that didn't... that was a little bit too fancy from Creator. He dove for the main when maybe he should have just been worrying about maybe the 4th base. He'll do that now, but he did... The attack has been blunted significantly by losing all those Zealots. A Void Ray. Well, the Queens... Oh no, Regicide! The King Henry attack here! Like 8 Queens gonna go down, and Zerglings trickling in. The Archon's still going to work, racking up the kill count. Another warp in here, juggles back one Archon, the other one goes down. The Hydralisks, though, the Hydralisks are way too much. The Hydralisks are going to force back. Does he think he can kill the base? He's real optimistic. Creator. But the Void Rays! What? How is this happening? They've done so much damage! What? No. No, he doesn't kill that. Hello? Hello, someone? Someone stop him! What? No, and another one! He got 2! What? The Exterminate! He got 2 hatches! Annihilation commencing. I don't know. He's over here like doing 4D jujitsu, whereas soO is just trying to... He's following him like it's a tennis match right now. And what is this production tab? A Fleet Beacon, a Disruptor, a Void Ray, +1 air and ground weapons. Would you like dessert, sir? Meanwhile, soO's here with a... I mean, he has an army. The Disruptor, though, a surprise and not a welcome one. The Stasis... He doesn't yet have every spellcaster, but he's getting there as he completes his collection. This is an achievement run. The force fields from Stasis. Some Disruptors showing up. Down goes the Oracle. This may be a little bit too fancy here to deal with it. soO, not exactly sure if he's supposed to be fighting right now, but the Disruptor gonna make the decision for him. Oh, he canceled another hatch. God. Okay, well, soO still has 82 drones. Throughout all this, he's killed hatcheries. But hatcheries don't mine minerals. Drones mine minerals. And soO has had plenty of them. Wow, what a confusing... Oh, well, those are hatches dying. And then replacing the drones at different bases. What a weird seismograph-looking chart we have on the income tab. As this earth-shattering build from Creator just continues to confound, confuse, but also... I'm looking for a good word, like an exciting word. I'll come back to that. Don't worry, it'll be very clever, though I'm losing a lot of momentum right now. Ah, yes, carriers. What? Does he have flux veins? Of course he does. His veins are fully fluxed right now. And he's fluxing his way right up in the soO's main. And then soO's gonna be like, oh, flux me. Because more Void Rays, the Zerglings are coming back. They might be able to fly, but they can't fly high enough to stop the Void Rays from burning through the Lurker Den. And he's going for the spawning pool. The Lurker Den was kind of an important part. He gets Lurker range. And the Lurker Den itself, of course, with it. I'm not sure how valuable Ground Army is going to be, but Zealots on the southern base here. soO, like, soO has 2,200 minerals and 800 gas. He's got 20 he just doesn't know what to build. He has the larva. He has the tech. I guess besides the Lurker Den, which he's waiting for. He doesn't have a Spire. There's carriers. This will, like I said, one Sky Toss game. Variety pack here, but we'll allow the one. And this has been the most meandering road to carriers that I have seen in a long while. Another base will be slowed down at the very least. The Void Ray Parasitic Bomb. Ooh. Well, that'll help. But was that real damage, or was he just freeing up supply for more carriers? He recalls the other two Void Rays. Okay. Disruptor shot. I mean, feels a little excessive when you have 5 Archons to fire a Disruptor at Lings, but Creator feels a little excessive in general. I feel like that's just his entire playstyle. Supersize me, Creator. Well, Banelings! Whoa, Banelings! A whole lot of Banelings, and for the first time in this series, making a cameo appearance. Meanwhile, the Death Ball of Death Balls, Archons, Carriers, Void Rays, Disruptors, oh my, even a Sentry in the mix. But soO's gonna take at least one base, 36 probes, Creator's economy is gone, he's supply blocked right now. But is there any counter to this army? His anti-air is 14 Hydras against 8 carriers, though not all the carriers are here. Everyone's supply blocked. No one can build anything. Disruptor shot, well dodged. Banelings coming back to defend. He might be able to take out the Archons. He yanks at a carrier. Best case scenario, Disruptor shot curves into the Banelings. The Banelings are going to hit Archons, I guess, because I don't think there's literally anything else for them to hit. But at the end of the day, Creator is able to consolidate his forces, and also Archons exist. Much to the dismay of Zergs everywhere, those Archons still without, well, is there detection? Doesn't matter. 3-0.